Okay. Yeah, we're ready to go anytime. All right, then, we'll just wait.
Right, now I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. You're listening to Top of the Pops from the BBC World Service, and I truly am very excited to welcome to the studio Amy Winehouse. Hello. You all right?
Yeah.
Running around doing interviews willy-nilly at the moment. Very busy lady.
Yes.
It's
busy.
this year, 2 Brit nominations. You've just been nominated as well for an Ivor Novello Award.
Yeah.
How are you kind of adjusting to all this success?
Well, that's mad, you know, the Ivor Novello thing. That's like a real, you know, the Songwriters Award. You know, it's a real privilege to just be even in the list of people. Yeah, definitely.
How does it compare to a Brit nomination, something like that?
Well, it's for songwriting. You know, it's for songwriting. Really, is I guess the main difference to me. So, yeah, it means a lot. Yeah, it means a lot.
How is and you're only 20? Yeah. God, blimey, O'Reilly. So how does a 20-year-old, like, because I'm sure that when you did the album, Frank, you know it's a good album and you love doing it, but then all this kind of happens. Did you expect it to be received in the way it's being received?
It hasn't been, to me. I don't know, you know, I don't see it the way everyone else sees it. I'm lucky like that, I guess. So, you know, I just think of it as the album I made before the next one I'm going to do, you know what I mean? Like, that's it in my headspace right now, you know, and just getting my head down on the next one.
But you're enjoying the limelight and the frocks and the heels.
Yeah, I mean, there is no limelight, and I always wore nice dresses, and I always had on some nice shoes, so that's cool. You know, nothing's changed is what I mean, you know, it's just really cool. That's
good. That's very refreshing to hear.
I'm just lucky.
It makes perfect sense then that your debut album should be called Frank. And it is, lyrically, some of the lyrics way too saucy for the World Service. Is it? I mean, it is a very frank album. You don't mince your words, do you?
No.
And I mean, how easy is it though? Because I mean, some of it is, if I'm right, is quite reflective of your own personal life.
Yeah, definitely.
How easy has that been to kind of be quite as open as you've been?
Well, I mean, it's all autobiographical, so it's very easy if you know about the way you feel. You know, I was lucky then being younger. I don't get it now, but then I could know the way I felt about something. I'd understand why I felt like that and so on. Now it's kind of harder for me, but back then, yeah, I just used to be able to write it down and know exactly the way I felt and what was funny about the situation. I guess that's how I wrote the songs.
And in a lot of the records as well, I've chuckled away through a load of them, just going, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've been there as well. You seem to have a great sense of humour about it all. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's important to me, you know, because when I look back at times in my life that were hard, I would never want to go, oh, that was a bit messed up. I would want to think, hey, that was messed up, but you were not an idiot about it and you were strong there and you handled yourself properly and with caution.
Very sensible. Does this sort of, you know, very down-to-earth, grounded approach to life have anything to do with mum and dad and North London girl, you see?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, my mum and dad have probably got their head in the clouds more than me, though. I mean, I hold it together. But I don't live with my family, so it's nice to see them, but they don't, I guess, no, they don't have much of an influence on me anymore.
Musically they did, though, didn't they?
Yeah, there was always some good tunes in the house for me to steal and run upstairs with and listen to for ages, and it was the same when my brother got to the age where he could buy his own music, you know, maybe 13 or 14, you know, when you're seriously start to get into it. You know, that was cool for me as well, so I could take all his music as well. And then I got to that age myself, and by that point, you know, I knew what I wanted to buy, I knew what I wanted to be listening to.
And he was an older brother?
Yeah, he's 4 years older.
You see, I got it all the wrong way around. I got influenced by my younger brother.
Oh,
I had no idea. Then my younger brother got to like 13 and 14 and was coming into my room going, what are you listening to that for? You should be listening to this. I've never been cool, never mind. But your mum, born in Brooklyn, crossed the water.
Yeah.
So how did, I mean, she must have brought a musical influence from the stateside with her. And how did that find its way into your living room?
Well, my mum came over when she was really old. She was about 18 months old, so it didn't really have that much effect. But her Uncle Siddy and her Uncle Leon were horn players.
Wow.
And that was going back years. And my Uncle Leon played like 5 different kinds of horn or something crazy like that. So I guess, indirectly, she's been a real influence, yeah.
And your dad was a music fan as well, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, my dad's a great singer. My dad can
Is he really?
sing. Yeah,
Does he get up at Christmas?
He doesn't get up at Christmas. He gets up at any kind of karaoke event, any excuse.
Brilliant.
And I got him up I did some Pizza Express gigs. I made him come and sing on a couple of the nights.
No way, did you?
Yeah.
Excellent. I bet he loved it with his girls singing together.
He loved it, but it was better the second night. The first night, I sprung it on him. He knew that he was going to do it the second night, but the first night, I thought he was going to have a heart attack in a chair. It was so funny.
People chucking dough balls at him.
Yeah. Get off.
Get off. But who was the person? Was it your mum or your dad that gave you the first guitar at 13?
That was me.
Was?
I went out. I had some money because... Why did I have money at 13? Because I'd done stuff. I'd done an opera. And I had a bit of money, like a little bit of money, just from being an extra in this opera. And and I went to Bond Street, I went to Chapels, and I bought my first guitar, which was a Fender DG3.
No way.
And it was
That's not a bad guitar to buy.
It was crap. That sounds good, but it sounds good just because it was a Fender, but it wasn't. It was crap. It's a crap acoustic, but it was amazing for me, obviously.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't play it because it's like a duff guitar, but at the time I was like, I'm going to play every Beatles song in the world.
And did you sit down? You sat down with a book of Beatles songs and learned them?
Yeah, literally.
You're kidding? On your own in your bedroom?
Yeah, I'd get my brother showed me the first 2 chords and how to work out the chord, and then I was off, and that was it. And that's how it works. That's how you do it. You can teach yourself the first 250 chords easily, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's really not. There's like 700. Derivative, I mean, who knows? It's countless.
So, was this while you were at Sylvia Young? Or after you left Sylvia Young?
This was just before. Then I went to Sylvia Young's. They actually didn't let me take my guitar into there. Because it was disruptive.
You see what I mean? I was hardly surprised that you were going to leave at some point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was disruptive, as I was apparently as well. And then when I left there, I carried on playing. But after I left there, my mum and dad sent me to a girls' school. So I was quite...
And locked the doors.
Yeah, literally. I was gutted. So I spent all my music lessons, breaks, lunches...
Everything.
Every free period was in the music room.
Wow.
Because I just didn't like them girls. I was like, where... are the boys.
Exactly. I mean, I went to an all-girls school, and trust me, we found the boys, usually on the back of the bus. So you, for those people who are listening that don't know, Sylvia Young it's a performing arts school, basically. Yeah. Which so doesn't match with kind of what you're doing now.
Thanks.
So how did you go from that to finding the jazz?
Well, I always loved jazz, but then to me, jazz was something else. It was more big band. Like Ella Fitzgerald, and I must have been about 13 at this point, 14, and singing, doing musicals. Obviously, those songs in the musicals were the same songs as those jazz standards, yeah. But when I left Sylvia's, I found myself listening to a lot of jazz because my brother had it as well, which was easy for me to get into it.
Sure.
So much easier than someone else who would have no idea where to start. I was very lucky like that with my brother. And he just kind of... gave me some stuff that he knew I would like, and I did, and it was like those songs from the musicals, but so much purer and more simple, and just played in an honest way with just 3 instruments as opposed to a massive big band, and it did so much more for the music than a whole orchestra could have done for one song, and it just really struck me. And then because with the jazz, with that simplicity, I learnt about subtlety with my voice at the same time, and that's when I guess I learnt how to not, undersing something as opposed to oversing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been there at the Annie auditions and I've seen people oversing from an early age. At the moment, there just seems to be this resurgence in great soul jazz, whether that's Jamie Cullum or whether that's, I mean, there's about 4 or 5 different artists going around. Not that I'm lumping you in with them because you're very individual in your own style, but there is an interest in an alternative way to be young in the charts at the moment. Why do you think that's found itself coming to the forum now?
I think with me, it's not so much, I'd like to think with me that it's not so much a young person singing old people's music.
Far from it.
Well, yeah, but that's what I think of slightly when you mentioned Katie Malua.
Yeah.
And
Jamie Cullum.
Yeah, slightly. I mean, he himself is not an old person,
Not
and
at all.
his live thing, his whole musical personality is not at all old. He's very alive and very youthful, but you know, his record, you know, is slightly maturer than he himself. But you know, yeah, I would say my stuff is more that I am just an honest songwriter that people can relate to. You know, my stuff is such a blend of styles, but I think what I've done is retain a jazz ethic of making music new and making it interesting on every level, and I think that's why I might be with those, because I have worked really hard on my album.
Well, a little birdie told me as well that was it true that you did a showcase the other day with Missy Elliott and Timbaland in the front row, and they went mad for it.
Yeah, they were right
proving
there.
exactly your, you know, how kind of eclectic you are. What happened? Tell me what happened.
Well, I had to do a party for MAC for the Viva Glam AIDS Fund, and it was to launch their 5th lipstick in the series.
Oh, it's a hard life.
Yeah, and yeah, that was a really good. That's one of the most show busy gigs I've ever done, probably the most one. And I knew she would probably be there because I knew she was the spokesperson for the fund. I knew that she'd done a lot of good work for them. I didn't realise she would be right in the front with.
You could see the whites of her eyes, you know what I mean? That's so close.
And I couldn't even look down, I couldn't look forward. After the 3rd song, I said something like, "Thank you so much for allowing me to perform here in front of 2 of my idols. I can't even look down right now." It was like that. I couldn't look forward. I was just like head in the clouds, literally, looking at the guitar.
Did you speak to her afterwards? Did you get a chance to have a...
Yeah, I took her arm, I said,
"Oh my goodness.
Hello. I'm glad you enjoyed that." And she said, "I'd like to work with you." And I said, "I would die to work with you." I just embarrassed myself.
Let me think about that.
And I told Timbaland that I'd cut off my arm to work with him, and he laughed.
But he is the man, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That kind
he
of
really is.
Having that sort of respect from those people must make you feel good.
Yeah, just that they were there and they heard my music makes me feel good. I don't care what they thought, as long as like they were just there, and you know, I had the opportunity to play to 2 of my such like proper idols, just right there, you know.
That's very cool. Talking of which as well, Billy and Me at the Barbican on the 5th of April.
Yeah.
Alongside, the list is just incredible.
Yeah.
Give me some names.
Carlene's going to be there, and I can't wait to sing with Carlene or see Carlene Anderson. I don't know the way the show's running at the minute, but who else? Angelina Kudjoe, and
is Nena Cherry there as well? Oh my goodness.
Nena Cherry's there, Didi Bridgewater.
Oh wow.
That's just going to be great.
You see, that's the fun thing about doing what you do. You get to work with such an incredible standard of musician as well. It's good fun.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, I got to do a show with Carlene Anderson and Omar and Misha Paris once, and who else was on that? That was amazing.
So your tour starts in April as well?
My tour starts on the 20th of April, and I think it starts in Glasgow, which is where I usually start, furthest away. And
come closer to home as you go
closer.
through it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try and put those dates, I think, up on the website as well. You obviously enjoyed the live scene.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. The 2 London nights I've got for the tour are Shepherd's Bush Empire, which I did once before supporting Finley Quay. And it's just such an amazing venue. I can't wait to get in there with the whole band.
Well, I will be there because I'm going to make it a point to come and see you live.
Yeah.
And the single, before I'm going to ask you to introduce it, In My Bed. Oh, it makes me laugh so much. Tell me about it. It's hilarious.
Thank you. In My Bed is about sex with your ex, and I always wanted to write that song. I didn't want to ever call it Sex with Your Ex, but I always had it, because that's cheesy, but I had it in the back of my mind, like those interesting things about that relationship you have with someone when you're not together anymore, but they still know what you like, but they don't have a real grasp on the person you are, and it just interests me so much. And I always wanted to write that Sex with the Ex song, and then I guess after I split up with my ex and I wrote In My Bed, I kind of realised, hey, I just wrote that song. I did it. Woo. And that's what that's really about.
Well, I love it, and I think it's really funny. It makes me laugh. It brightens my day. So before you go, do us a favour and introduce your single. Thank you very much, Amy Winehouse.
Thank you. Well, I'm Amy Winehouse. This is my new single, In My Bed.
Lovely.
Would that be cool?
That's very cool.
Cool.
Will you do a drop for us as well? And the drop goes, I'm Amy Winehouse, and you're listening to Top of the Pops on the BBC World Service.
On the BBC World Service. Yeah, ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amy Winehouse, and you're listening to Top of the Pops on the BBC World Service.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was lovely.
Cool, I get to go home and sleep for an hour now.
Oh, a whole hour.